party started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stretch break. My name is Jazzy, health fitness specialist here with Access Autodesk, and today we're going to be stretching. So if you have anything that is tight, feel free to drop that down in the chat box anytime during the session, and I'll take a look and we can add that in. I know earlier we did some lower body opening stretches, so we can go ahead and start with some more of that, a little continuation of that. So let's go ahead and start with some hip opening things. We're going to start off on the ground in a nice shin box. So one leg is going to be out in front. So we got it directly out in front, off to the side, so a 90-degree angle in the knee. And then our back leg is straight out to the side, and the ankle is directly below the knee. So this can be a little bit uncomfortable if you're not used to sitting like this. So what we're gonna do here is do a couple whatever they're called, reach throughs. So we're gonna plant our the same hand of the leg that is in front off to the side. And from here, we're gonna take the opposite hand. So I'm using my right hand. I'm gonna reach all the way through as far as I can, and hold for a second or two and return back to that starting position. So we are reaching, feeling the twisting of the spine, and back to center. This is a great one. It opens everything up, especially if we've been sitting all day at our desks. And it helps open those hips up a little bit more too. And let's go ahead and do one more here. And back to center. Awesome. So before we switch to the other side, we'll do a little in between stretch here. So what we're going to do is we want to switch our knees from where they are now without trying to touch the ground. So we'll open everything up and switch over to the other side. And then we'll kind of flow back and forth through that. So this is more of an active movement, working on our hip stability a little bit more because we're actively moving those muscles. So that's kind of the difference between mobility and stability. The mobility is more of the range of motion that our joints have, and the stability aspect is going to be the ability to move those joints on our own. So it's important to make sure we're working on both. So let's go ahead and do one more on each side. I'm really moving here. And we'll end up with the opposite leg in front. And from here, we will do the reach throughs again. So when we've done our last one on each side, we'll end up on the opposite side that we started with. And then we will plant that hand next to us on our side and take our opposite hand and reach through and return back to center. That first one always cracks my back. It feels so nice. Make sure we're still breathing, no matter how tight or uncomfortable the exercise gets. We want to breathe through that stretch here. And wherever we're at, we're going to go ahead and do one more. Wonderful. Awesome job, everyone. And when we're done with that last one, we're going to make our way onto our hands and our knees for some more reaching. So we're going to go ahead and get our hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And from here, we're going to thread the needle. So I'm going to take my right hand first, thread it in between my left arm and my left leg, pushing my hand into the ground, pulling away with my upper back. We should start to feel the stretch right below the shoulder blade. It's a good counter movement to sitting at our desk for the majority of the day. We're taking nice, big, deep breaths.
If you would like an extra element to the stretch, you can take your left hand or the hand that's on the ground, wrap it around your body, tuck it right into that hip of the opposite leg, and that will help give us a nice chest opening stretch. So we're getting a double whammy here if you're doing that portion. If that's a little bit uncomfortable though, you can go ahead and leave that opposite hand on the ground. Yeah, we're gonna do one more big inhale. And a nice long slow exhale. We're gonna plant that hand back on the ground and return to our hands and our knees. And then we're gonna do the other side. So taking our opposite hand, threading the needle through, pushing our hand into the ground, pulling away with our upper back. So I'm feeling this right here on our shoulder blade, right under that. And again, if you'd like an extra stretch in the chest, go ahead and take that hand and wrap it around and place it right into that crease of the opposite hip. Nice big deep breaths into the chest, feeling everything opening up here. And we're going to do one more big inhale. And a nice long slow exhale. And place our hands back under our shoulders. And then from here, we're going to do a crowd favorite. We're going to end up on our back here. And we're going to do a nice pretzel stretch. So we're actually going to end up on our sides. I'm sorry, I lied. We're going to be on our sides. So I'm going to start off on my left side with my arm, my head resting on the ground. I'm going to take my top leg, cross it over my body. We want a nice 90-degree angle here in the knee and the hip. And we're going to take that bottom leg and grab onto it with our top hand, placing our bottom hand on the top leg. And from here, we're going to open up. So the goal here is to, while keeping your knee on the ground, you want to try and touch your top arm, shoulder to the ground. Again, working on some nice rotation through the spine, stretching out the front of our legs, and opening up the chest. It's a triple whammy here. Again, a really good counter movement if you tend to sit at your desk for the majority of the day. Even if you're standing, sometimes we tend to hunch over no matter what position we're in. So this will kind of help open that chest up a little bit, get our back going. And we're going to do one more big inhale. And a nice long, slow exhale. We're going to release that bottom leg slowly. And we're going to slowly bring that top leg to the side. And we're going to go ahead and turn over to the other side. So I was on my left side. And now I'm on my right side. Same thing here, crossing that top leg over, 90-degree angle in the hip and the knee, placing that bottom hand on top of the top knee, and then we're grabbing the back leg with our top hand and opening on up. This is really difficult to do that with a clip on the back of my head. Want to make sure that that bottom leg is pointing straight down to get the most out of that quad stretch here. And if we breathe into the chest, that will help open everything up in that upper body. And if you need more focus on the lower body and that quad of the lower leg, We can breathe into the belly, feeling that stretch on the front of our legs here. We're gonna do one more big inhale. And a nice long slow exhale. We're slowly gonna release that bottom leg. And we're gonna make our way to either seated or standing. And that will conclude this lovely Tuesday afternoon stretch break. Thank you all for joining me. We do have another stretch break tomorrow at 3 p.m. with Brittany, as well as a boot camp with Luis at 12. We'll see if he's nice this week with no push-ups. We'll stay tuned for that. And we do have a couple fun programs coming up, so stay tuned for all of that. Don't forget, we are also offering movement breaks as well as group exercise classes for private teams. So if you are a manager or you want to do a stretch break with your team, let your manager know and they can fill out a form that we have up on our SharePoint site, and we will come to your meeting or teach a class for you. And anything else you guys need, we're always here and more than happy to help. So let us know. And we will see you tomorrow at boot camp at 12.